Alright everybody, welcome back to the semi-final between Tester and Foxer. This is in the G-Star All-Star Tournament, and whoever wins this game will go on to face Kyric Zenith in the Grand Finals, and whoever loses will have to duke it out for third place against OGS, the Wind. Now yes, I know these games have already been casted, the games with Tester and Foxer, which I'm casting right now, but I promised you guys out there who follow my channel that I was going to cast the entire tournament. And so, if you guys have already seen this cast already, well, you guys don't have to watch it. But if you guys want to watch my version, feel free. I think that, watching different versions definitely gives you more perspective on certain games. And so, hopefully we'll get through these games real quick, and we're going to go on to the third place and the grand finals. So once again, Tester versus Foxer. This is, who is this? This is actually Tester, the Protoss player, and this is Foxer, the Foxer, the Red Terran. And you guys all know Foxer. He is the trickiest Terran player by the book, or off the book, in fact. He just loves to do completely bizarre and berserk strategies. And of course, that's featured by the fact that he loves to use these early barracks SCV pushes against Zerg. Now, that is really his telltale trait. That's what he loves to do against Zerg and TVZ. He loves to put early pressure against the Swarm. But what is he going to do against Protoss? I'm very interested to see, because I've never really seen Tester, or excuse me, I've never really seen Foxer play against a good Protoss. I'd like to see what his strategy is going to be. And considering that the map is on Scrap Station, this map has the tendency to see a lot of tricky Terran versus Protoss plays. Obviously, there's these ramps up here overlooking the natural expansion where Protoss players can hide Stargates. Protoss players can also throw up pylons back here to warp in units into the mineral line of the Terran player. So there's a lot of different strategies that Protoss can use against Terran. And I'm interested to see how Foxer is going to respond to that in kind. It looks like he has already... Wow, that is a very early second supply depot. Why does he have such an early supply depot out? He's actually... Look at that, 17 under 27. So that is an uber early supply depot, and I really don't know why he threw that up so early. It looks like Foxer will be going for the second assimilator here before the second gateway finishes, so that is a telltale sign that he will be going for early tech. Either going to see a fast Stargate, possibly a 4-gate push with mass Sentry Stalker, but I really don't think that's going to be the case. Warp Gate obviously going down right when the Cybernetics Core finishes, and that is really standard for Protoss players. As soon as Cybernetics Core finishes, you get Warp Gate. It's the best upgrade in the game for 50-50. I guess it's next to Concussive Shells. Concussive Shells is a very good upgrade for 50-50 as well, but Warp Gate is extremely good. And it'll be interesting to see what Tester decides to do with that Warp Gate tech. It looks like Foxer here will be going for the command center and will be throwing down the 2 barracks for security purposes to make sure he can defend against that defend against any attack on his command center. So Foxer will be going for the standard Marine Marauder build, and no doubt we'll be seeing some dropships coming into play very soon as well. We also have, do note, a probe chilling right here at the top ledge, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This probe can warp in that pylon, and then he can apply pressure with the 4-gate, or with any gate really. You can warp in units up on this ledge and then do some damage into the mineral line. So do watch out for that, Foxer. If Foxer could hear me right now, I'm sure he would take out that probe. But he will be pulling in this SCV into the Protoss base. He sees exactly what's going on. But really, is it enough? He only saw the second gateway. He did see the Nexus. He still doesn't know exactly what's coming, and it is going to be a 4-gate coming from Foxer. So Foxer will be doing the delayed 4-gate, getting the Nexus down first. And this is more like it's kind of like an eco version of the 4-gate. You get more probes, you get a little bit more economy. And the nice thing is you can actually trick your opponent, because consider this, Foxer has actually scouted this Nexus. He thinks that the Protoss player is going to be going for an economy-based build, but in fact, there is going to be a 4-gate in his face very soon, and he still has not scouted this probe. Oh god, and here comes the pylon. So Foxer will be doing the good old 4-gate with the pylon in the back door. Tester is going to be doing that. Is Foxer going to be the one who's going to be prepared to fend off the 4-gate? He's going to need a decent army of Marines and Marauders, and he will need at least 1 or 2 bunkers right at his mineral line just below the ramp here. And it looks like the units are going to start to morph in. And like I said, it is since he got that extra assimilator, he's going to have a lot more gas to get mass sentry and get a couple more stalkers. So it's really a nice build. Going for this double assimilator, he's going to be able to fund a lot more gas-intensive units off of these 4 gateways, and he's even getting the robotics facility. So, wow, Foxer here could be in a lot of trouble. He finally brings the SCV up here to scout. He was actually on the way to build a supply depot, so now the cat's out of the bag. Foxer has to defend against this. It looks like 2 beautiful force fields will force these Marines and Marauders to run around the backside, and I think Foxer may even be forced to pull off SCVs in order to defend against this. The command center getting about 1/4 of its health whittled down, I would say actually 1/3, and now the backdoor rocks gonna start to get worked down. Foxer in a lot of trouble here. He needs to make something happen. He's getting 2 dropships out, but really the dropships just aren't gonna be enough to make sure that he can hold this off. He needs to build bunkers, but it might be too late. Oh my god, the force field's cutting off the Marines and Marauders from each other, and the frontal Marines getting whittled down as the Marauders and the other Marines forced to run around the long route. And Foxer could lose this game right here, right now. He's going to lift off his command center, but with so many stalkers and sentries, note that there's not even any zealots. Well, swallow my words here. There's 2 zealots coming out. Really, this gas-intensive opening from Tesser has paid off beautifully. He's actually killed off the command center, which pretty much is the nail in the coffin for a Terran player, considering that the Protoss has his Nexus down. Got a lot of energy right there on that Nexus as well, but I think Foxer has this game in the bag. We switch over to the APM view, and we can see that Tester, why do I keep calling him Foxer? It's actually Tester the Protoss player. Oh god, it is Tester, the blue Protoss, and so I think he's got this game in the bag. We do have a counter drop coming in here, and will Foxer be able to make something happen with this drop? I don't think so. There's just all these probes and units getting warped in here. This drop will get negated, and the Marines and Marauders will have to just, they're gonna die. GG calls Foxer, and Tesser doing damage inside the main base. So Foxer loses this game. Tester, the blue Protoss, wins. Tester. I do apologize, guys, for my miscall right there on the players. But Tester is a blue Protoss. He wins game number 1, and we are going to go on to game number 2 between Tester and Foxer. And so hopefully you guys stay tuned, and we are going to have the 3rd place and grand finals matchup in the G-Star All-Star Tournament coming up soon as well. Thanks a lot, guys, for staying tuned. HD, signing out.